But first, on the news at 4, the panda pandemonium is heading back to the nation's capital. Giant pandas Bao Li and Qing Bao are on their way to the National Zoo. The two 3-year-old pandas are the first pair DC has received in 24 years. Thank you so much for joining us on WUSA 9 and streaming on WUSA 9 Plus. I'm Simone D'Alba. You may remember, of course, the zoo's last 3 giant pandas were sent back to China last year because of the end of China's panda diplomacy program. Well, then months later, that program was renewed. The pandas will travel on a FedEx Boeing 777 cargo jet dubbed the Panda Express. The plane, by the way, traveling from China to Anchorage, Alaska, then to Dulles International Airport. Our Matt Gregory is live at the National Zoo ahead of their highly anticipated arrival. And Matt, we knew the pandas were going to be coming, but we didn't know exactly when. And now we're getting much closer to their grand arrival.
Yeah, when I was here back in May, we kind of had this idea of this nebulous time when the pandas might come back, right? Sometime before the end of the year is what we were told by the Chinese ambassador. But now we know it's going to be this week. In fact, within the next couple minutes or so, they are leaving from a airport in southwest China on their way here back to the zoo. So let's kind of take you through what this has been like. It's like we're talking about it's the first time in 24 years that we have seen pandas coming back to the United States. And of course, this was something that we weren't sure was going to happen. I know there's been a couple of conversations about pandas coming back to America, to the San Diego Zoo, but as pointed out by several folks, this will be the only place in America you can see the giant pandas that it will be free. Some of the other things that we watched as they were getting ready to accept the pandas here is that the zoo here, the Smithsonian Zoo, sent off a team to Southwest China to kind of see Bao Li and Qing Bao in their environment, to get to know what their habits were, their food situations, and now as they get on what's called, the Panda Express, we're told they're being given, bamboo, things to make the ride comfortable. It's all part of this long-awaited journey to come back to the U.S. To have pandas here again. And, they have been a huge area where we've seen them setting up for months, getting that whole section put together for the pandas again, new living quarters, new things here and there. And they're going to try to do what they always do when they bring the pandas here as part of this exchange with China. The idea is going to be to try to grow pandas here, at least get them to procreate here. So, we caught folks leaving the zoo today. Some of them disappointed they came a little early, others who were just excited for the pandas to come back. Take a listen to how they were reacting as the zoo was letting out at 4 o'clock today.
We stopped specifically to see the pandas. We were on our way from New Jersey to North Carolina, and we stopped to see the pandas, and there were no pandas. Oh, no. So we were sad.
Well, we come to the zoo pretty often. Without the pandas, we see all the signs that the pandas are coming, but without them, there's a lot of the walk where there's this big open space that's looking good, but nobody home, so it's kind of disappointing.
So as we've been standing here, people have been coming by and asking, what are you all doing here? Why are you all standing out in front? I've had to tell some people personally, pandas are on their way back. Interesting note, though, even though they'll be arriving, we believe tomorrow morning, as we're still kind of tracking the movements of the Panda Express over the flight trackers, even though that's happening, we know that it's going to take some time for them to actually be on display here at the zoo. There's a quarantine period I was told about when we were here back in May. There's other tests that have to be run just to make sure everything's okay. And probably the earliest we'd expect to see the pandas would be at some point in November. We're working to get that confirmed right now. But the note today, for everybody who's been waiting to see when are the pandas coming back, they're coming back today. We expect to have more information coming up for you for the rest of the afternoon and into the evening. So stick with us here as we continue Panda Watch here at the National Zoo. I'm Matt Gregory, back to you guys.
Boy, I can even envision the panda motorcade from the airport, and you know what? The lines that are going to happen once they arrive back at that zoo. By the way, the panda exhibit got $1 million revamp, so it's ready for some new tenants. Matt, thank you.